Hello Team Absolution fans. Before we get started with this video, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel. If you need cards, singles, case splits, playset splits, whatever you need in terms of Vanguard, Premium, or Standard, make sure you reach out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel, for all your needs, including sleeves and mats as well, deck boxes too. Of course, you can find him on TCG Player, eBay, and as well as his email, themagicsatchelstore@gmail.com. Of course, that'll be up where you see right now on your screen. It'll also be in a link in the description. As always, we want to thank him for everything he does for us. So give him all your love and support when you need your Vanguard stuff. And now, back to the video.
Alright, Team Absolution fans, it's always a hotly debated topic. What was the best format? And we're here to give our thoughts, though you may have heard them. So stick around. Alright, Team Absolution fans, before we get started on what we think was the best one, we've got to list what are the different formats. Because in the TCG,
things got weird.
things get wonky. Well, up to a certain point, alright?
Also, disclaimer, we're talking about TCG, our format.
Our format, yeah. TCG, not the OCG, because that makes a lot more sense. So, for those of you who don't know, might be newer to Vanguard, in English, the original Vanguard sets were released in a very wonky order. Matt, I think you have the best idea of what order they were released in.
Bushiroad, yes, I do. It was BTO 1, BTO 2, and then BTO 3 is next, right? Wrong. No, it went BTO 6, BTO 7, BTO 3, BTO 4, then BTO 5. And then we went on to BTO 8, 9, and so on.
And then again in order.
Yeah.
I said until 10.
Bushiroad was scared.
Until 11.
Until 11.
They were scared of what MLB and what Dote were going to do the format, rightfully so.
And Tsukiyomi.
And Tsukiyomi, rightfully so. No, so yeah, it was 1, 2, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5.
What was EB3 in there?
EB3 was somewhere after set 7, I believe.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was around then. But yeah, no, it was definitely strange. Release order was weird. We got Sweep Command before we got Descendant.
So
yeah.
It was Dote before Liberators.
Yeah.
So here's how we're going to talk about this. The formats are from set 1 to preset 5, which means 1,
1, 2, 6, 7, 3, 4.
3, 4.
Yeah.
So those sets together.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that. That was a format. Then 5 and above, which is like Limit Break, the end of Limit Break, and Cross Break Rides.
Featuring the big three.
Yes.
Then
MLB Dote Tsukiyomi.
Then after that is Break Ride in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Now then the order might be mixed up, but it's still Break Ride era.
Yeah.
And then Legion, then G. We can split G, but not really.
It's just G.
I would split G in pre-G Guard, post-G Guard.
That makes sense.
So, and then V Series. And then you have Premium and Standard. So, what do we think is the best format? So, to talk about this discussion, we'll compare them, what we think is better, what we think is worse. So, let's eliminate the obvious one that I think we can eliminate in our personal perspective. Our highest degree of understanding is, did it require a high skill level? Was it fun to play? And were the cards cool that were in the format?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to eliminate Limit Break first and foremost.
As it should be.
Now, a lot of people love Limit Break, and Limit Break was cool. But Limit Break was every game, I look back and I wonder how I played so many games of Limit Break.
Same.
Because every game of Limit Break was the same. It was, you guys stand up?
My leg. Anyway. No, it was the same game.
He's so passionate about against Limit Break.
Get rid of it! Double crit her!
No, same game every time.
Limit Break was literally ride, no guard, ride, no guard, ride, no guard. Oh, I'm at Limit Break 4, time to do stuff.
Then your game begins. 2
Then your game begins.
damage from death.
Now we start guarding. What?
And then this is before BTO5's release in the States. which was a lot of limit break stuff, a little bit of not limit break stuff, but limit break stuff was stronger because it did have better skills at that time.
Dude, best deck.
And so we eliminate limit break. Also, what I have to take with limit break is break riding. I think break riding
didn't change the formula.
it's the same formula, but questionably it just required you to have an extra card. And you had to ride that card first. So the decks were all about how can I consistently make sure I get this grade 3 before I get this grade 3.
Let's add a curve into your deck and really hope you hit it or you lose.
Yeah, because very few decks could get around the curve. Maybe Descendant.
Raging Form.
Spike Brothers.
Spike Brothers get around the curve, yeah.
There's a reason Braxton Express is a term. If anyone doesn't know it,
I never
Reckless.
played that deck.
I know he didn't play the deck. God, Reckless Express is a good
Reckless
card.
Express is a good card.
Shout out to Ryan Hetherington. Anyway.
I wonder if we can still find that Photoshop card with my face on it.
Oh, it's somewhere.
Yeah.
Gotta necro that.
The thing is, Break Ride was just a sidestep from Limit Break. And it up until you hit grade 3, games were relatively the same.
It means more damage.
Yeah.
Some nuance, but the beginning part of the game was the same. The game didn't start till 4 damage. And it also like started this really big. See, now like keeping a person at 3 is a technical strategy. Then it was just scum. Like there was a clear and obvious reason why you kept someone at 3 during Limit Break and during Break Ride. Now keeping someone at 3 might be because you don't want to give them the 2 CB they need to do something like that in today's era. Where then it was like clear and obvious if I put you to 4,
I'm gonna lose.
your deck turns on. So I'm gonna keep you at 3. So
And
just
try to blow you out.
So those are the two that why we don't think those two are the best. I'm not gonna go in chronological order now. I'm gonna skip over what you clearly are now gonna think was the best. Stride isn't the best because it disregarded the grade 3 in my opinion.
That's true. That's why you don't like Stride?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons I don't like Stride. That's just one of them.
Oh, okay.
I think that by the end, every deck just became a massive toolbox that were all kind of doing similar things, just in their own unique way.
Are we talking post G guards or after G guards, or just in general?
Both, I would say even. G-Guards just slowed the game down.
Thank God.
Yeah, because the game had like ramped to a certain extent. Now Matt can't talk about this because he left the game at this point. So, what would you put it at the best?
I like Stride. I don't dislike it for the reasons that you're disliking it. I would put it as, by the end of it, one of the better formats, but not as the best.
Can you agree that at least at the beginning, grade 3s were worthless? At the beginning.
I mean, yeah, but that's also like the beginning at that point.
At the beginning, with the first like grade 3s in Stride era, were like, you use me for my Stride skill. And even then, like, my Stride skill might be meh.
Yeah.
You might still not even use me.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the beginning of Stride, we were playing the Cross, not Blade Master.
Exactly. We were playing Think Saber, not striding.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Strides. Strides were just a perk. And I think by the end of it, it did even out. We got really cool strides and stuff like that, but it all became...
next stage.
But then it became a power creep monster of just demons. Which brings us to Legion. Matt's like, I'm back. Legion not only gave us some incredibly powerful cards that stood the test of time for a while.
That stood the test
For as long as they could.
They stood the test of time of their format.
Well, the cross.
The Cross wasn't.
The cross was
Legion.
The Grays still hold on for a while.
In the Cross deck.
Neil Flame hold on for a while.
Neo Flame did hold on for a while. I will give you that. Neo Flame was.
Photon held on for as long as he possibly could.
And even to this day.
There's still murmurs of Photon in the distance. Legion gave us some powerful cards, but Legion was just a really... Now, a lot of people say...
Now, was it supported well? No.
Legion was not supported as well as it could be. But my answer to you was you should have played better clans.
Oh my God.
I said it, I threw it out there, and I'm sorry. Grand Blue, you got shafted, I don't disregard that, but that's your problem, not mine.
Aquaforce, I loved it as much as the next guy, But you're not playing Blue Flames, you're not playing Cat Butler, and you're not playing Sinbuster, and you're doing yourself a disservice.
The thing is, I think people focus on the clans that you couldn't play at the time and forget that there still was a good number of clans you could play at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could play Shadows, Royals, Kagro, D-Police,
Gold Paladins,
Genesis,
Grapplers.
Grapplers. Narukami was not bad. I think Narukami slept on. I think Brawlers slept on. Link Joker, and I would even say Neonectars were not terrible.
I was going to say Neos were
Musketeers
also
were not terrible. No.
Yeah, Musketeers was not bad either. That's a pretty sizable amount of decks that were not terrible at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And supported at least.
Honorable mention of Mega Colony because they just steal games for no reason.
Good old Mega Colony.
Good old They had the promo, right?
Yeah,
Their promo Legion was cheeky.
Yeah.
Their promo Legion was cheeky. Alright, so like while they were not heavily supported, not every clan was heavily supported, there was still a gambit you could play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you couldn't play Aqua Force while supported was not very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Shadows had 2 different builds you could play.
Shadows had 2 different builds you could play. Oh, you could use Drag Ruler, right?
Well, no, I mean you could either play Revengers or Witches.
Witches.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot about Witches.
Digging up gems all the time.
And so Legion. I want to tackle that first argument. It's like, well, yes, I will concede that it was not supported as well as it should have been, but that doesn't mean there wasn't a gambit you could play. There was a lot of decks available to you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And a lot of them were incredibly powerful. People, in our discussion we had earlier while we were organizing this video, Braxton talked about how Sinbuster is questionably the strongest deck in Legion. And in my head, I'm like, nah, dude. But the thing is, like, Daikaiser Sinbuster is dumb.
Yeah.
Commander Laurel he can steal games. I mean, didn't he get hit in OCG, Commander Laurel?
Not till later.
Not till later?
Not till later.
Not until Stride format.
Until Stride format, when they were like, standing up strides might have been a regret. They were like, let's cut this off at the curve.
But also standing up unsentinelable Sinbuster is still pretty dirty.
I think that's where they drew the line. They saw Sinbuster and they were like, yeah, no more. Next for drive check, 6 cards? No.
If we take one more step, it'll be too far.
Which is funny because they hit Laurel early. In OCG, we didn't get that till later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, so that covers like, there was still a gambit to play. And then even in the regards of technical play, we no longer had this
wait till 4 to play.
Now it's like Braxton's hard-hitting philosophy. Now Braxton really had to deal with a lot of the limit break stuff because he didn't play a lot of limit break decks.
I played.
You played MLB.
MLB for the longest time.
Because it made a lot of sense to play MLB.
It was also my very first deck, so it's all I had to play.
But in Legion, it was back to the old Braxton adage: "Don't take unnecessary damage." And you'd be like, "But I could just take this damage." Like, yeah, but why? There's no reason to take this damage.
You're gonna get more damage later.
Very true.
Also, like, guarding early became incredibly valuable because you had to have 4 in the drop to do
Quintet
Legion.
walls were a staple.
Quintet walls were a staple.
Choosing carefully what you guarded early also played big into what's going back in your deck. What do you want to see later in the game? You can put back your Legion mate and just, only put back 3, It opens up a lot of doors. I think for me, the technical change in the way we played the game was the biggest plus of Legion.
Yeah.
Being able to be aggressive and not having to wait for the game to start at 4 damage, But mostly, being real aggressive early feels super satisfying in Legion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also, and people forget, even from a weird hype perspective, because Vanguard was super hype.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hype format to play.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, it was a lot of heat. But people sleep on Legion's heat as well because there's still. But dude, when you were low on deck,
and you knew there was nothing but triggers left,
and you were and you had that last grade 3 in your hand, and you were like, ride, seek mate, 1 mate back, 3 crits back. How much are you willing to gamble? Because there's only 7 cards, and 3 of them are crits.
Yeah.
That's what the game got intense at that time. And then let's talk about Legion's skills.
Oof.
Were such a jump. A base 20K Vanguard minimum on swing, devastating.
Oh yeah.
Then Abyss, Restander, incredibly powerful. Thingsaver, Pseudo Restander, incredibly powerful.
Really
The Great, Restander, incredibly powerful. Dragonute, slept on, I honestly think was, in its format, incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Dude, damage,
Visors, MLB with a cat.
damage,
Incredibly powerful.
damage induced with no trigger activation is pretty brutal.
Yeah, it is.
Like, retire, damage induce?
yeah. Oh yeah, because it was retired too.
Yeah, it was retired 2 and a damage induced that cannot resolve trigger. Like, I remember first seeing that and I was like, now the Great's gotta be good. Like, cause
Plus-
and he was. Oh baby.
Not the best compelling point, but I love cards that share artworks. That's awesome. I love that.
also,
Oh, yeah.
completely tangential, but Legion Rares.
Oh yeah,
Baby.
that gold
Let me get my
border.
greats. Let me get my greats.
Let me get my Thingsaver collection.
Let me get my cats.
Even the ones, so those were Restanders, which you could argue, a lot of Restanders. But no, Regale. Genesis.
Oh yeah, Genesis.
Genesis was savage, man. Genesis was savage. And also, aside Genesis, Gold Paladins was Glare was dumb.
Glare was. Baby girl.
Glare was an incredibly powerful, and like, one, incredibly beautiful art. Which, granted, art shouldn't really go into a format, but like, as an extra bonus,
But even like the deck itself, it was just a synergetic
it
masterpiece.
was so, dude, Aglavale was
Catch
dumb.
goal.
Catch goal. The whole deck had so much synergy to it that just really threw it over.
I can't even remember that character's name. He was the best thing that ever happened to Gold Paladins.
Oh, the guy in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from like Europe,
Yeah, the guy from
the
Europe.
European champion. Yeah.
Best thing that ever happened to Gold Paladins.
Sinbuster, which we already talked about, incredibly powerful. Link Joker, a strong counter to Legion.
Yeah.
Came in here and were like, let me break up these legions. Also, like, Photon, devastating.
Neoflame. Really gosh darn great.
And then that excludes, we haven't even talked about the main person here, because I've been waiting.
I've been charging up the whole time.
Due to a ruling,
We're talking about Dr. O, the best card in the game.
due to Dr. O's brilliant wisdom, he decided that when a grade 2 stands, a grade 3 must stand as well, allowing Cat Butler Risers to become a devastating deck. As I never piloted it, I don't know if you ever piloted it, but I know you piloted
That's all I piloted.
it. You dreamt that deck.
Do you guys remember Dragonic Descendant set 10? It had, I'm not going to go into details, but the magical line of text says, if you don't hit, you restand. Oh.
You put, dude, there was nothing more demoralizing. There were very few plays in Vanguard more demoralizing than staring down a Riser with 3 Cat Butlers and being at 4 damage and just being like,
Where'd all these cats
take
come
me.
from?
And if you all forgot, you can't just simply say, well, I'll take it and it'll be fine, because Mega Flare has a passive crit pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
If he has one dude in the front row.
Yeah. No, you ran that deck as super deep draw turbo. You had
Because you only play 4 Mega Flare.
exactly only 4 grade 3s. With the grade 3 searcher, you play
Bouncer.
you play Bouncer. You play
Gojo.
You play Gojo. You play Energy Charger, which is Rising Phoenix. So bless do draw 1. You deep draw for those grade 3s and those cats. Drop 2 or 3 of them, and it's really nearly impossible to contest unless you're that guy hitting your PGs every time.
Not even that, like, if they saw more than 2 cats, you just lost.
No, but and I think it does like harken back to what Jose was saying. Like the list of decks available to play it was pretty sizable. When you can play grapplers like that, I mean, granted, ruling issues aside, it was still a lot of fun to play. But you had options.
Also, there's never been a deck so devoted on one goal like that in Vanguard. Like a deck that was like my entire that worked. Granted, I've seen a lot of really interesting players play a lot of very interesting decks with a lot of interesting objectives.
I think Luard has you beat there, but that all started with Mega Flare.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole idea of like rest, draw. Nothing matters but getting these butlers. Everything is secondary because once I hit these butlers, you're dead.
I might even forget to swing at you one turn. It doesn't matter.
Pull the left, wrong left.
And so So that's the technical, the powerful, like playing against some. I guess another interesting thing I want to say is, and this once again I'll say it again, like yeah, if you're playing any of the clans outside of the ones we mentioned, which is still a pretty decent list. Oh, also duos.
Oh yeah.
Bermuda's had a very powerful legion at the time.
That's true.
Duels was a powerful deck at the time.
Bermudas are always good, no matter where they are.
But you take the decks that you had there, and if you were playing one of those, and you were playing them against another one of those, you were having it was a game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. Yeah, I made a lot of fun of like Neonectars and stuff like that, but like that deck was not a joke. Grand Blue, also not actually a joke. Didn't they have? No, I keep thinking of the Musketeers. I think of the Musketeers.
Yeah, Grand Blue was a joke.
And it was like blue
till later.
And, no, but it was totally Neonectar.
Yeah.
So playing against Neonectar, playing against Kaiser, or playing against Simbuster, playing against all these others. Not a joke. It was a hard game to play. Granted, some of these decks now
could just wreck your life.
I'm going to say this because I'm already preparing the argument here, because some of the decks we've mentioned use break rides in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Shadows. Like Shadows.
Like Deep Police.
Like Deep Police. The two best, however, did not, in my opinion. Thingsaver and Risers.
Mm.
Neither one of them used a limit break unit.
Right.
To achieve its objectives. Even the ones that did, I still think it's the Legion and the Legion-esque cards that made the deck what it is. The break ride helped it.
I will agree with you that, but man, having Abyss swing at you for 32 twice was nothing to scoff at.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Didn't you, Nate, do the math on that? Like, you compared a Broker-Ridden Abyss to, like, a triple swing Thingsaber. I think the shield difference was only, like, 5K. 5 or 10K.
It was only 5K difference in terms of shield. Yeah. It's a very powerful beef stick of a line.
Also, like, Mortal Fan giving you that extra dude just for you to eat later. Like, that was a synergetic masterpiece right there.
But the synergy came from a lot of the Legion stuff.
Yeah.
Blaster
Dark, Revenger Abyss was probably one of the best mates in the game.
Yes.
And I know I said one of the best, because, we have Photon, Agravale. Yeah, they were...
Honestly, Photon takes the award. If I was ever to do best mates in the game, it's Photon. At this point. It might have been... I think there actually is a video when we said best mates. Like back during Legion format.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was the winner, Blaster Dark. It might have been someone else. But I think today, you have to give it to Photon. Not only for his relevancy then, but the fact that he's outlived every Legion card.
Yeah, he has outlived every Legion card.
When you think about best cards in Link Joker, you have to put Photon in there because it was just the freest lock to ever all you have to do is locked. Take another.
Yeah.
But now is the section of the video for really quick, just nostalgia, dude. Just the fun, man. There's nothing more powerful than nostalgia.
I love playing the great.
I think for most of us, we'd kind of met up at that point, and
well, we have one more format to talk about before we get to nostalgia.
Well, while we're talking about Legion, we can move on to Standard in a second.
Okay.
But some of our best moments, some of my favorite games, happened in that format.
Yeah.
Some of where we grew as a team, as a friendship, all happened during that format.
I think when Jose realized that I could use Glare twice in a turn, he was just like.
Yeah, dude. When I realized Glare, which is dumb still, by the way.
I was like, Braxton, he's a 3. How are you gonna kill him? Wait.
And I was just like,
what is he digging for? His board is full. Bruno's like 50K. What's going on? Glare.
And I was just like, this madman. I remember. So the shop we used to go to in Chapel had hosted a very big team league tournament.
Yeah.
For like a local kind of thing. It was like 30
First
teams.
Triangle Cup.
Not 30 teams. It was like 15 teams. It was pretty big.
Something like that, yeah.
You were there.
I was there.
And it was me, Braxton, and Jorge all playing together. And I was playing Thingsaver.
I was playing
Kagro. And I was playing, and you were playing Kagro.
I was playing Gold.
He was playing Gold. He was playing Glare. And we were just, it was steamrolling because we had practice, we had technical. And we're playing against people who you could actually finally feel. For the first time in Vanguard, I really felt the skill difference in players. Because you did sometimes see the mirror match, and it really did come down to who played the deck better. And then luck just happened to help along the way.
Right.
But It was the first time
I remember, sorry to cut you off. I just remember like when you talk about skill gap. I remember like Ward was just like would just be smiling and just be like, "Oh, so you won?" It's like, "Yeah." You went cap on? It's like, "Nah, I didn't even. I won a grade 2." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that game I was playing against brawlers, and I did not see a single grade 3, but I still beat him. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But
like that just like goes to what he's saying. It's like even at grade, granted, he couldn't play the game because you were still at grade 2, but like you just beat him down.
Also, Cat Butler works at grade 2.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is, in Legion, you see that people had to like do this dynamic shift between Break Right and Limit Break into this Legion meta, where like now like going up to 4 isn't advantageous very quickly. You don't get you get some from it, but you don't get a lot from it.
Not unless
Whereas
you
like
kill him then.
a lot of these skills activate on Legion.
Yeah.
And some may cost something, but some don't.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily advantageous to do that. And I just remember during that team tournament, like you could feel the skill difference. You punished players who didn't make the right plays, and you made through it, and I just had so much fun.
Who was my third?
Wasn't it you,
Ryan? It was you, Ryan.
It was Ryan.
What was
Yeah.
Ryan Jabbit? Jabbit was playing.
You were Team
Thing
Old
Saber.
Guard.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
Wait, Jab was playing Thing Saber?
No, Ryan was playing Thing Saber. Jabbit was playing Kaiser.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He got bought by 16 crit gold paladin.
Glare is not a card to laugh at, my guy.
Which brings us to the latest format, which is the closest, I would say, to Legion.
I like standard.
I like Standard. I like Standard a lot. I think that Standard has its flaws. I think it has a lot of room to grow. I think that it hasn't reached the same skill gap. That's the only issue I have with Standards. I don't think it rewards skill differences as much as Legion did. But I think that it is a good format. I think it is fun. I've had a lot of intense games. I've seen Matt hit tables and incitement from these games. It's the first time in a very long time that I've seen Vanguard at a state where... So at our locals, reminds me back in the old days where we'll see Vanguard games going, and there'll be a crowd watching the Vanguard game, and then they'll cheer with whatever happens, and all the other card players and the locals will like turn and look, and they're like, man, they're having fun. Like, I'm here playing this game, and they're having fun. Like, we're not cheering and jeering. I'm just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And summoning links. But they're laughing. Why am I not laughing? That's how you get new players.
No, for as much room as it does have to grow, and I think Alston feels the same way about that being... The skill cap is not the highest. You can take pretty much any deck in the game, and you can contend very easily. But for overall health of the game, I think that's very important for being super accessible and standard.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the new Bermuda trial deck. Bonkers. You can pick it up, and you can probably top a tournament if you know what you're doing. But it's kind of revived that old sense of... I mean, because I'm an old head. I played back in set 1, set 2. Back when we didn't have any special skills. You know, Draconic Overlord was probably the best unit in the game.
And not because of his skill, only because he was one of the few bosses that was an 11k base.
It's back to basics Vanguard, I feel, but with a lot more interesting stuff to do along the way.
Yeah, Vanguard. Also, we live in a very very creative time of Vanguard. Like New Link Joker, like Brand. Like, that stuff would have never existed in the time we played Vanguard.
Yeah.
And by the time it did show, it was way too late.
It didn't matter, yeah. And even then, it was one card, it was Brand. Like, Brand was the first card of its kind that did something like that.
And then even before that, we had Zambaku.
Oh yeah, we had Zambaku, but it just wasn't... It operates in a much better sphere now.
Right. That's what
It's kind of giving, weird obsolete units a chance to shine again, too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
It's good, because some cards had some amazing art, but they were just poop.
Yeah.
They deserve to not be poop.
Before we get to the whole, trigger swinging the game, look, man, I was losing games in every format when triggers were just 5k. Like, them being 10... Who cares? Me losing to a trigger, it didn't matter. It didn't matter then, it doesn't matter now. Triggers are literally a part of the game. Get with the program.
No. I mean, trigger sack still happens, it still sucks. The skill gap should increase, but it's an incredibly accessible game. And the thing I was talking about the cheering and jeering, that's huge for me. Because... There was a long time where that kind of died out in Vanguard.
Yeah.
Where, you didn't get that hype about a game. But now it's back again. Seeing you at teams, slap a table and excited about a double credit, a critical moment, I was like, I remember the old days.
That critical moment.
The old days.
And that was very critical of a moment.
In the old
That
days.
was loser win for us.
Yeah, it really was.
And you could say that's nostalgia taking me back, but it takes me back to the old days of Braxton and I playing in our old local shop. Like, getting hype as all hell.
Board being
and
behind
like,
us. Critical.
and then all the Magic players around us were just like, that seems like a fun game. If I'm picking up another game, because Magic players never stop playing Magic, if I'm going to pick up another game,
Yeah, we actually
I'm picking up that one. And a lot of players did because they were like, that looks like you're having fun. It looks like you're enjoying yourself. And at the end of the day, if you're not having fun.
That's how we got like Tucker. That's how we got Riyadh to start playing more. Like,
Yeah.
Those were the days.
And now you see that again, though. Like, more people walk around and goes, dude, what game are they playing? And they're like, oh, we're playing Vanguard. Because, like,
There's something to say about no game like Vanguard. It's just a uniquely fun game.
yeah, it has it's the dive kick of card games. Like, you live for these hype moments.
Yes, it is the dive kick of card games. Like, it's simple when you just glance at it, but there's some deep mechanics in there.
What an analogy.
That being said, let us know what you think what was your favorite. We rambled on for a long time. What was your favorite format?
Just before you go, we didn't talk about premium. It is a format, and it's in a lot better state than it was before. A lot more diversity, which is great. I'm getting hyped for format for premium now. I kind of want to play it because of the whole premium collection that's happening now. But currently, we don't play it, so we can't comment on it. That'd be really stupid of us.
Yeah, it would be reckless. To
Ask
say
Keith in the comments.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm calling him out. Keith, Ryan, you guys have to make a video about premium in its own format and where it belongs. Is it good? Is it bad? You guys are much better suited to talk about it than we are. That's for sure. But it's not that we're not excited about it. We don't want to play it.
Well, we don't ever play them. Like at the start, there was just some stupid things that they let them get away, and I wasn't a fan of it. But now, now like King's hit, granted, I still have to deal with Gold Paladins and the whole other decks that can do the whole rigmarole, abusing ride mechanics, stuff like that. But I kind of want to play it now, so we'll see what happens with that.
That being said, check out our sponsor, which is
Magic Satchel. You can check out his TCG player, his eBay. He's on our Discord as well. Got all your Vanguard singles. He's got all your accessories, boxes, case splits especially. You gotta love being able to get everything you need in one fell swoop. But definitely check him out, the Magic Satchel. He's always been there for us. He'll be able to hook you up as well.
all right, and that's Team Absolution signing off. Peace.
Bye.